From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro Beef. From pros to prep. All your favorite action.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM.
AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Now that you preach patience a little bit, and I know you see it happening everywhere else, you start to worry, wait, what's happening? And you got a small freshman point guard level fan, and you were worried, and you were calling this week saying, well, I don't know. And I said, I'm going to guess there's going to be at least one more point guard on your Lobo roster. And we found out late Monday on our show that, well, in fact, Dayton Albury, the point guard at Utah State who was in the portal, had narrowed it down to New Mexico and USC. And maybe in past years when NIL wasn't an issue, I don't know what was offered at USC. I have an idea what might have been offered at New Mexico. Maybe it's different. I don't know. But yesterday afternoon, you get the word via the social media, via the graphic that comes out. Dayton Albury, 6'3" senior from Utah State, is a Lobo, and he will be your point guard next year. I want to get into this, what it means, what it doesn't mean, and maybe you'll feel a little bit better. Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Wednesday to you. It is the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. I'm Jeff Symbieta. He is JJ Buck. How you living?
Good. I had to bundle up this morning. Little Murray flurry last night. So
he only went for 43 last night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was good. You needed that. Where's he been? Exactly.
Been asked that question a lot in the postseason with the Nuggets.
Yeah, but they're up 3 games to 2. I want to get there, but I think locally the big story is getting a point guard for the Lobos in Dayton Albury. I'm a guy who, look, I want you to pave your pave. I want you to
temper.
Yeah, fair. He's not Donovan Dent, but he's pretty good, right? And very few are Donovan Dent. And I think
there was no 1-for-1 replacement for a $3 million player.
Right. And I think you're gonna have to realize, if that's the standard. And look, you've had point guards over the last couple of years now between Jalen House and Donovan Dent, who have been terrific. I think Dayton Albury is very good. I don't know if he's those guys. Maybe he will be in his next year, because with the Diego Pavia court ruling, and you can thank Diego Pavia, Lobo fan, as much as you don't want to thank Diego Pavia for anything and you hate Diego Pavia, but you can thank Diego Pavia for that suing the NCAA and that court ruling that grant players more NCAA eligibility if they started their careers in junior college. Albury could have 2 years of eligibility left. He played 2 years at Chipola College in Florida. Played a year in the ASUN at Queens before, where he was the ASUN Newcomer of the Year. So he could have 2 years left, JJ, which So Lobo fans should
Heck,
thank
just
Diego Pavia.
come on back. Everyone's BYU now with their rosters. Yeah, this is one where it's a committee approach. I think you see that with what Eric Olin has done. You got Mountain West talent in Albury. You got Haupt coming up from D2. And it's interesting. You got the quickness. Albury, very quick guard. You got the length, 6'6", of Haupt. And then you have the true freshman. Can he find some minutes in there? The explosiveness of Tenet. And that's something that really kind of stands out is I think this team is going to be deep because I think Eric Olin's going to have to really go that way just to figure it out because, yeah, you weren't going, even with the foundation, the collective, the NIL, it was going to be very hard to find multiple pieces in one transfer portal window that you're going to lock in and have 2 or 3 guys that were just going to be immediately like, bam, go to 38 minutes per game on this roster.
I don't know to replace Donovan Dent with a new coach, with with everything being brand new. I don't know that you were going to do much better than this at point guard.
No, especially it is the most expensive position in the transfer portal is all conference caliber point
That
guard.
and a dominant big,
and
right?
a big,
You saw
like
what
you're
JT
talking-
Toppin got. Yeah.
The numbers out there for if you're thinking player of the year, that's $3 to $4 million, but an all conference point guard, $1 to $2 million.
Yeah, and I'm going to guess this is somewhere around $500,000, which and we'll, I don't know if we'll know or we'll not know, but whatever. I it's not your money, and maybe it is your money.
Well,
yeah,
it's the game that you're playing right now.
Yeah. This is a steadying force and a guy that proved that he can play. And I know that what some of you and your concerns have been, as you called this show. Yeah, he was good at Point Loma Nazarene, but can he play in this league? Okay, fine. Yeah, UC San Diego. UC San Diego was pretty damn good, dude. I don't know if you watched them win the Big West. I don't know if you saw them take Michigan down to the last play of the game. I don't know if you saw them win in Logan, Utah, as only them and New Mexico did against Utah State last year. But their players are pretty good. But okay, you've been asking that question. So this is the point guard who led Utah State to the NCAA tournament. He doesn't shoot a lot, right? But
Probably see those numbers come up this season.
I think probably, yeah, 54, almost 55% from the field. You get in the deeper metrics, offensive rating, and I'm not even sure I know what offensive rating is that a mix of a bunch of things, right? That's offensive rating is both steal percentage and scoring and assists. Is that right? Or all that combined?
It's like a QBR metric.
All right.
Put a bunch of things together.
All right. So if I throw a number at you, it's not going to matter to you, because it doesn't. I mean, it's blah 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 point blah. I mean, whatever. But he was third in the league in that ranking, and he was sixth in both steal percentage and fouls drawn per minutes. The only Lobos ahead of him in steal percentage, there was only one. It was True Washington, and the only Lobo ahead of him in fouls drawn per minutes was Donovan Dent. So this was an upper echelon player. Was he honorable mention? Mountain West? I don't even know. So you got a point guard. And I think you should feel better about it. And you might have him for two. Well, I don't know. Who the hell knows, right? He could transfer again next year. But, this is the third place he's played. And you beat out USC for it, which, I know it's a different world right now. But back in the day, if you said you beat out USC for a recruit, you beat out Eric Musselman, who, is a terrific coach, and there's a lot of money at USC. That's what it came down to. I think it's a good get. Am I going to tell you this is a great get that makes you the favorites to win a championship? I don't believe so, but I'm certain that if you don't have an experienced point guard, you have way less of a chance to achieve what it is you want to achieve, what you expect to achieve with Lobo basketball. Is that fair?
Yeah, we knew that was the next thing coming was front court depth. JT Rock was there. They're definitely, I think, going to find another 5 and or forward presence to try to bring in. Now, it's not going to be a starter caliber player at this point in time. Now, even with that many players in the portal, heck, it could be. You never know. I don't want to make any statements before it's all said and done.
Right.
But we knew a veteran guard was on the table, even with the signing of Haupt. It was going to be a guy with D1 experience because now you have combo, a trio, however you want to look at it, that's going to be running the point. We're going to see a lot of Albury, a lot of Haupt, and too, with what Eric Olin does, you see a theme. Haup is 6'6".
I think Hop's going to score a lot. I think he's going to be relied on him to score.
I agree, but he's 6'6", and what the pressure on the perimeter, Aubrey's explosiveness and quickness defensively steals. What are we talking about? UCSD last year was their steals, what they wanted to do defensively. But then you look at the other players, like a Kevin Patton is 6'8".
Well, Scholl's going to play on the perimeter, right?
Scholl's going to
be 6'9".
They're all long.
Yeah.
They're either long or they're super athletic, and that goes to the pressure that he wants to have defensively.
No, I like where it's going. I'll reach out and maybe we get Eric in this week and kind of talk about where everything's going. But Lobo fan, let's go, because this was one of your concerns, and you voiced it this week. You've been voicing it on whatever forums it is, and certainly on the show. This has been one of your concerns, and you went out and you got. And that's considered a veteran point guard, right? I mean, 2 years
Absolutely.
at JUCO and a year in the A-Sun and a year at Utah State, and I mean,
this JUCO stuff's fascinating.
It is, right?
I'm sitting here just wondering, all right, like who's coming back or who wants to keep playing?
Well, it might not even be JUCO stuff, dude. This is where, and I had this conversation yesterday with somebody, in college athletics. I look at Mustafa Amsil and CJ Nolan. They played 5 seasons of Division I basketball, and they both put their names in the portal. And there's going to be a lawsuit if there is. I think there is already.
There is a lawsuit
that says the NCAA cannot tell me how many years I can play college ball. I'm in college, and I look, man. If you cannot limit college eligibility, I'm not even sure what we're doing at this point.
That's another hour of our show right after that.
I'm fine with it though, because
then it's not college athletics.
Well, it's not.
Because then you can't just have this NIL model and expect it to work.
No, it's a pro league that's based on college campuses.
It's a pro league that no pro league in the world works like that, where you just
right.
random eligibility and year-to-year contracts.
What about, and you tell me why this can't happen. Let's just say, I don't know, pick a player that went pro. Let's just say Jalen House. All right?
Talk about maybe Quinn Ewers or Shedeur Sanders.
All right. And they play, let's just say they play 2 years of pro ball, right? Jalen just played a year in the G League. Let's take it a step further. Let's take a guy what was a big dude that played at Colorado State 2 years ago? Really good player. Went in the NBA. I think he was in Orlando. Anyway, Robbie, come on.
Roddy?
Roddy.
Yeah.
All right, let's just say David Roddy. I don't know why I'm taking him, but let's say he plays 2 years in the NBA and gets cut. He can go to the G League and go overseas, or can he sue the NCAA and say, well, I'm going to go back and get my master's at Colorado State or at New Mexico or at North Carolina, and they're going to pay him $3 million a year to go play college basketball while he's enrolled in college. Why shouldn't he be able to play? If, in fact, there's no eligibility limits, can a guy come back from the NBA? Tell me I'm way out of my mind.
You're not way out of your mind, because with what is happening with eligibility being raised and saying there shouldn't be limits, then what's stopping anyone from coming back to play?
How can
let's
there
go.
not
Start
be
stretching.
limits?
Let's warm up. Let's go.
How can there not be limits in college athletics? But as lawsuits go out there, I mean, if Mustafa Amsil is on the right side of a lawsuit, he could be a, 6th, 7th, 8th year dude playing for Richard Pitino in Cincinnati next year at Xavier, right? Making $2 million, whatever the going rate is for a 7th year, 6'7" forward. It's bonkers, but it's where we are. All right, Louisville fan, you got a guard. You got Dayton Aubrey. You got a point guard. How do you feel about that? The number's 505-246-0610. Come on in, 505-246-0610. Your emails will be Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. When we get back, we're going to get into Lobo football getting a transfer from the SEC. This could be pretty big as well. Want to go there. And what happened on the hoops court last night. A big win in Denver, a classic meltdown. I don't care what you tell me. You can give me on the comeback meltdown, or what's the word we use? The comeback collapse meter. Dude, that was 90-10. The Bucks game, Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations.
On this eligibility thing, and if these players win the lawsuit that basically says the NCAA college, no, you can't limit how many years of eligibility one plays. And I know that sounds absurd, but there's a lawsuit out there for that right now. Like let me give you an example. I know I said Jalen House earlier, and then I backed down. But I think it's a perfect example. Let's say Jalen House plays in the G League again this year. Plays well, but doesn't get an NBA call-up. And let's just say Richard Pitino calls him at Minnesota and says, "Hey, I think you can get more eligibility." Right? He's played professional ball, but it's just different professional ball. And this professional ball now, I mean, a profession is when you're getting paid to do something, right? Isn't that what professional is? That makes you a professional if you get paid to do something. You are a professional broadcaster. You get paid to broadcast. You are a professional banker. You are a professional construction worker. You are whatever it is you do. You're a pro. That's what you right. So I don't know how it could somehow stand. Well, I mean, they were pros. They can't come. Why not? It's just a different pro league, right? United signs guys all the time that have MLS experience. That's a higher league. They came back and played in. I mean, do you think I'm way? I know you don't, but I don't know that I think that as absurd as I think it is, logistically, realistically, that it shouldn't be allowed. That college basketball should be 5 years to play 4, and fine if you want to give them a 50. I like somehow we've gotten 5 years is the norm now. Okay, but you can't have unlimited eligibility in college athletics, or can you? And
well, you shouldn't, and I don't think that many of these people that are putting lawsuits together are thinking about the future. They're just thinking about
them,
the paycheck right now.
Yeah.
Now, some of the stuff that's been done for the future, the revenue sharing, the pay-to-play model, you're like, okay, that's here. But no one is thinking about how to continue this model moving forward. All they want to do is sue the NCAA into oblivion. And it's such an easy talking point from people on the outside that hate the NCAA, that have zero attachment to college athletics, that have zero attachment to anything in their city. And this is a lot of the major talking heads in sports media that just say, yeah, that's right. Who cares? Bleep the NCAA, go get your money. But this system is going to collapse in on itself if there's no structure. And at some point in time, instead of all these athletes without eligibility, all these former athletes suing to get all this money back, they need to take a step back and say, who's going to lead this? Because the only way this works moving forward is if student athletes unionize, is if they come to the table and someone leads everyone. And you have to start separating it. Like, it has to be, all right, here's our football, basketball, Olympic sports. Because if they don't come to the table and talk with the universities and talk with who's ever making rules, all they're going to be is lawsuits forever, back and forth, instead of going, hey, student athletes, here's your 5-year window. Hey, here's our revenue sharing model, the percentage, let's go. Until they have a voice at the table, the only voice they're going to have is random people suing, and then that lawsuit affects everyone when not everyone has a say in that lawsuit.
So I agree with you on the macro. On the micro, when it comes to the eligibility thing, I think it should all be governed the same way. I don't think football, basketball, Olympic sports should be governed differently. I think eligibility should be blanket.
Eligibility could be universal, but you have to start separating these things in terms of sport decisions when it comes to revenue share, rosters, what you want from this model, which isn't going to be the same for every sport.
Yeah, I think that's right. But there's some things that need to be governed overall, right? There just are. The more I think about this, the lawsuits are out there, and Omsil and Noland, and they're not the only guys who've used 5 years of Division I eligibility up and still think they're going to play more. But then tell me, the next step. Why can't a guy come back and play in the NBA?
Yeah, at that point, if there's unlimited eligibility, there's
unlimited eligibility.
Yeah, no rules.
Do you have to go to school? Do I have to have 12 credit hours? Do I have to even be enrolled in school? Is it have anything to do with school anymore? It's just a pro league that's played on a college campus.
And it's not going to go very far.
No, man. And how long are school presidents going to put up with that? Again, you may have the top 40, 50 schools say, well, yeah, man, we're UCLA or we're North Carolina and we're here about basketball. Okay, cool. But to your point, that's when the system collapsed in upon itself. My mind's been going crazy on this thing because where does it end? And I'm listening to the argument. If you think there should be unlimited eligibility and you're not alone, I'd love to hear you on why that would be good, not for the individuals. I understand why it would be good for a guy who's got nowhere else to go and just going to play college basketball as long as they'll pay him. I get that, but why would that somehow be good for the overall sport? Why would that be good for the greater group? I understand why it would be good for the individual. Let Diego Pavia play for as long as he wants, according for Diego Pavia, but tell me how that would be good. That we should have 7, 8, 9, 10-year dudes or guys who are able to come back and just play forever.
I'm wondering with women's basketball, hey, Uldo Joaquim, want to come back and play with your sister who just signed?
Right?
You only played 3 years D1, you had 2 years at JUCO. Let's go. Yeah. Make it a family affair.
All right, football. UNM football got a transfer. Auburn transfer safety. C.J. Johnson committed to New Mexico. That was confirmed through his representation to the Albuquerque Journal yesterday. He's 6'2", almost 200 pounds. Redshirt freshman, did not play in 2 seasons at Auburn. But he was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school in Texas. They got a kicker. Montana's transfer kicker, Grant Glasgow, committed to the Lobos through his social media. Their third edition from the portal this spring, 19 of 20 on point afters and 8 of 14 on field goal attempts. 49-yard best. Sounds like an okay kicker. I mean, you need a kicker. You know how I feel about kickers. I feel
now you got 2 on the roster.
I feel they're more important than most people do. You need kickers. Like a lot of games come down to that. And then they got a linebacker transfer from Memphis named Brett Carhu, and a defensive back transfer from Texas State, Caleb Coleman. And they're in they're in now. So there's more coming in. All right. 505-246-0610. Would love your thoughts on the Dayton Albury transfer. Text line says Dayton Albury is an excellent addition to the Lobo program. He's a very quick and decent 3-point shooter. I view him as a poor man's Donovan Dent. Fair assessment, right? I mean, I get it. You just had Donovan Dent. It's going to be hard not to compare to Donovan Dent. Understood. Do yourself a favor and realize that you've been absolutely spoiled for the last 4 years with Jalen House and Donovan Dent. 3 years, whatever it's been, 4 years. Right? You've had really and go get they're out there. Good point guards are out there. I think you got a good one. And by the way, he's got time to develop. If he's going to be here for 2 years, and Lord knows what that even means anymore, but I mean, go year by year. Let him get better. I watched him up close and personal. I think he's a good ball handler. I think he's tough. I think he's a physical defender. I think it's a really, really, really good get for the University of New Mexico Lobo basketball team. All right, when we come back, we are getting into the hoops last night. Come back or collapse, and to me, this is 90-10 on the meter. I'll tell you why. Did you watch it live? Did you watch the end of the Pacers-Bucks game?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to listen to you tell me if I'm wrong or not, because that was brutal to watch. And then the shoving and the frustration after that. Nuggets are up. Pistons stay alive. Boy, that series has been terrific. It's the opening drive. He's J.J. Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. We'll have tickets to give away to go see the Isotopes and Tacoma Rainiers. We'll give away the tickets at 7:55 this morning, so stay with us. The game's for the 14th of May, so stay with us on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their
Nothing. Well, I don't know if nothing more interesting, because the Pistons staying alive at Madison Square Garden was interesting. But the Bucks and Pacers went to overtime. Look, I think going in last night, you figured with Damian Lillard out, with Achilles, I mean, this series was over anyway, right? And I thought that, you thought that, everybody did. And the Pacers were going to finish it off and get ready for the next round against whoever they get, right? And it goes to overtime, and the Bucks were up 7 with 40 seconds to go. And turn it over twice. I don't know. I appreciate the way you wrote this. I do. I appreciate that it says forced 2 turnovers. I do.
Yeah, the last one really wasn't.
I don't even know that I think the first one was forced, but all right, I'll give you it was forced, the first one. The second one was a pass that wasn't perfect, but it was Gary Trent Jr., right? Hit him in the hands and went right through his legs and into the bench and out of bounds. Like,
keep your eye on the ball. Tried to make a move before he caught it.
Expecting to get fouled, and it just, he fumbled it out of bounds, and Tyrese Halliburton gets the ball and takes it to the cup, and they win 119-118. Pacers trailed by as many as 20 points. They were down 7 with under 40 seconds in overtime. One of the all-time greats, according to Pacers coach Rick Carlisle, one of the all-time collapses as far as I've ever seen, dude. And this one, this to me was 90-10 on the scale. I don't know where you put it, but 90-10 collapse on the comeback collapse.
Yeah, anytime it's more than 2 possessions in the final 60 seconds, that's going to go down much higher on a collapse meter. That's when you're talking, 75% or more, in this case 90%, because it was catch the basketball, get fouled, go to the free throw line, hit your free throw, still 1 possession game. But it was right there to put the pressure on the Pacers. Instead, Milwaukee makes all the mistakes down the stretch, blows the lead, blows it in overtime. I'm with you. This was much more on the collapse meter than it was comeback, given the circumstances. Under a minute to go in overtime. And Doc Rivers finally did something. Doc Rivers finally made an impact in a playoff series, and his team could not finish.
Yeah, no, the guys that he put in played well. He put A.J. Green, Kevin Porter Jr., Bobby Portis Jr. all into the starting lineup. They all played well. They all scored in double figures. I thought Trent was really good for them down the stretch until he wasn't. I thought he hit big shots. I thought he was terrific in overtime. Until he just, I mean, like this is JJ. I mean, he wasn't covered, and he just literally dropped the ball through his legs out of bounds. Like, you never do this. This would be me throwing you the ball. You'd catch it. Like, instinctually, a professional basketball player just literally dropped the ball through his legs out of bounds.
And then Halliburton absolutely just leaves Giannis in the dust.
On the defensive end.
Goes right by him.
Yeah.
Go ahead basket.
Yeah, Halliburton right by Giannis. Jab step left, goes right through the lane.
Apparently
Pass the outstretched arm, lay it up and in.
Rated player in the league, Tyrese Halliburton, is voted on by his peers just because they're jealous. He got a chance to just sit on the bench
at the Olympics.
At the Olympics, because guess what? He played his role. He wasn't going to complain or anything.
26 points, 5 rebounds.
He can ball.
Yeah, he rebounded. All right, then after it got ugly. At the end of NBA games, there's too many damn people on the court. This was, to me, the precursor of something that's going to happen. As emotional as NBA games are, as much bleep as gets run out of people's mouths in NBA games, and as close as the crowd and people are, and then after games, everybody's just on the floor. And you saw Giannis Antetokounmpo afterwards going after Tyrese Halliburton's dad. And again, man, when your dad, your mom are like, it's not good. John Halliburton, the dad, is walking over to Giannis, waving a towel and swearing at Giannis Antetokounmpo. What are, like, with all due respect, sir, you did nothing except for father the child who won the game. You have no right to be on the floor, let alone waving a towel going after the star of the other team, who, by the way, had 30 points, 20 rebounds, and 13 assists last night, did Giannis. 30, 20, and 13. That dude played his arse off. Quote, Giannis Antetokounmpo after the game. I believe in being humble in victory. A lot of people out there are like, no, when you win the game, you talk bleep, and it's a green light for you to be disrespectful towards someone else. I disagree, end quote. Look, I disagree, and I'll take it a step further. You didn't win the damn game. Your kid did. You didn't make a shot, block a shot, turn a ball over. I just, at some point, dude, there's going to be a problem on the court.
Well, yeah. We've seen this a lot, though. I think this was an over the skis moment for Halliburton's dad. It's embarrassing. It's one of the worst things that can happen in sport when you're an athlete, and heck, even at this level, because now he has to sit at a post-game press conference and answer questions about his dad. You know, it's one thing in high school sports, Little League, where you just see those parents and you're like, oh, that's embarrassing. What is happening here? And now it's an NBA dude that has to talk to his dad to tell him to slow his roll, probably not going to get the chance to take courtside next series or maybe even the rest of the postseason. And could something happen? Yeah. But you know, this was to me more just a guy over his skis getting in the face of Giannis, and then Giannis was hot, and Giannis got into it with other Pacer players after that.
He was super emotional because they just collapsed and they just got eliminated in their season.
Eliminated again.
Yeah.
You know, Giannis is starting to feel it. Like, it's what happens, man. There's a lot of good players in the league right now that might only win one title.
And he may be one of them. And which, by the way, is more than some other good players.
And you're eliminated in the first round, injuries again. You're frustrated. As you just said, you played your backside off into the series, and then he didn't know who it was. It's just a random person coming, getting in your grill, and you're going to be lit.
Quote, Antetokounmpo, losing the game, emotions run high. Having a fan, which at the moment I thought it was a fan, but then I realized it was Tyrese's dad, which I love Tyrese. I think he's a great competitor. His dad coming on the floor and showing me his son a towel with his face on it. This is what we do. We do this. I feel like it's very, very disrespectful, end quote. Dad's lucky he didn't get his ass kicked. And again, this is, you guys got to understand, and fans talk bleep, parents, I guess, talk bleep. This is these people's livelihood. It's a game to you. Maybe you got a few shekels on it, so it means more. You win a couple bucks, you lose a couple bucks. You laid this out really good, and everything that's going on with Giannis Antetokounmpo, that could have been his last game with the Bucks. It could have been. It's the third year in a row they went out in the first round after winning a championship. Damian Lillard got hurt. They just blew a 7-point lead in the last 40 seconds. This is his job. You know, I want to, that might have been one of the lowest points of his career, right? It could have been. I don't know. But certainly one of the most emotional, right? Dude just went 30, 20, and 13, and they blew the game on the last second shot. And I got some guy on the court waving a towel in my face and talking bleep. And everybody's, wow, the player's got to take it. No. When you're in the player space, and the player space is in between those lines, if he didn't knock him out, I'd have been on Giannis' side. With all due respect. And I'm not looking for violence. I'm not telling you it's okay to swing at someone. But the league had better get a grasp on this damn thing, and whether put up ropes or security people around the court at the end of the game, because I firmly believe, and let's see what happens over the next month and a half, this is the precursor. We're going to see something.
We won't see anything happen, and it's a lot to hold me back, bro. No one's, unless like Giannis was getting assaulted, he's not going to start swinging on somebody.
Like, blamed him if he did, dude.
This happens a lot more, a lot,
and it shouldn't.
But I don't think I'm with you that something needs to be done, but I don't think this is a precursor to anything, because we've seen a lot of hold me back, bro moments in sports, especially in the NBA.
Yeah, I hope.
Because the last one was Ron Artest.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. The Malice in the Palace. It was Ron Artest at that time. All right, 505-246-0610. We get back. I want to get into the Knicks and the Pistons. And Jamal Murray showed up last night. How about Jamal Murray showing up last night? with doing something he hadn't done outside of a bubble in the playoffs. Well, I don't know, ever. We'll get into that next because that was big for the Chicky Nuggets. Hey, IPS protects my home. They protect businesses and homes all over Albuquerque and Santa Fe. And I think it's worth giving them a call to see what they can do for you. Even if you've not yet, and I say yet, I hate that. Even if you've not been a victim of property crime, you understand that it's obviously on the rise. You know that the officer shortage is real. IPS is affordable private security. They protect what you have worked so hard to build, your home and your business. They respond to alarms that go off at properties which they monitor within 7 minutes or less. Police may take days because they just don't have enough officers. They provide, does IPS, standing guards if you need eyes on your property around the clock. They'll install alarms and cameras. They have a state-of-the-art facility monitoring those cameras 24/7. This all raises the level of security around your home and your business. So the question is, who's watching your home when you're not there? Make sure it is the good guys. Call them at 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Jamal Murray's 43 points. The most points Jamal Murray has scored in the playoffs outside that bubble year. 17 of 26 for him, 8 for 14 from three-point line. For the second straight game, Denver went up 22 early. Clippers came back, 17-4 run, cut it to single digits, and the Nuggets win. I don't think this is over, but I thought the Clippers were going to win this series. I'm not sure I think it's done yet either, by the way. But if you can get Murray in on an off-scoring night for Jokic, he had a triple-double last night, 13, 10, and 12. Not the dominant offensive performance, but he does everything. And certainly the way you're going to win if you're Denver, if he isn't going to go out and get you 25 to 35 points, is Jamal Murray better score.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what happened. Murray got going so early that it was a quiet game. It wasn't necessarily, Jokic isn't scoring and Murray went off. Murray went off, and then it kind of flowed back the other way where it wasn't all through Jokic. And this is the tantalizing part of Jamal Murray's game, but why he's the ultimate X factor. Because, yes, he can score 40, 50 points in the playoffs, but he's not a consistent performer. And so you have nights like last night where like, oh my goodness, that was awesome. That was unbelievable. Lacks of consistency, and that's been something that's hurt the Nuggets and held them back from being able to go on another postseason run. And so you tip your cap, you enjoy those moments when they come for Jamal Murray in the postseason because they need him. Because I thought there was a lot of frustrating things in that game, even when they're up double digits. James Harden was guarding Jokic, and they couldn't get the ball to him deep in the post. The Clippers, despite getting blown out, did a really good job of keeping everything away from the basket and forcing the Nuggets to be a jump shooting team. And they had what is probably going to be their best shooting performance of the series because that team doesn't shoot like that.
Well, 17 of 33 from three-point land.
That's don't do that.
51%, yeah.
And they did a really good job of keeping, Jokic out of the post. I'm sitting there going, how do you not get him? He's getting the ball in the high post, okay, but Harden's on him and you can't get him the ball in the low block. And down the stretch when the Clippers were coming back, I'm like, this is going to kill the Nuggets because they can't close out this game. They can't get inside. Thankfully, it was just a Jamal Murray night. But Harden's going to respond offensively.
Yeah.
And this, I'm right there with this. I expect Game 7 back in Denver.
Harden only had 11 last night. Kawhi had 20. Zubac led the Clippers with 27 last night. I like what Aaron Gordon's giving you offensively through the Nuggets, too. I just like the evolution of his game offensively.
Yeah, and Gordon is a big reason why they were able to win a championship. Bring him over from Orlando. He is perfectly suited for that number 3 role. He can pop and do a lot more. His versatility defensively, his size. And when that team is clicking and shooting like that, they look completely different, but that's not who they are. And so you go back, Game 6, it's going to be another battle in the Intuit Dome, the Clippers and Nuggets.
Really, really interesting game in Madison Square Garden last night. I love the Pistons. I love the way they play. I love the construct of them. I love the grit. I love the way they play defense. I just enjoy the evolution and growth of Cade Cunningham. Duran was great last night down the stretch. The game was tied in Madison Square Garden. Elimination game for the Pistons. The Knicks were up 3-1. Cade Cunningham took over, and Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson both had injuries. It was kind of a weird play. They both had leg injuries, and so Tibbs had to take them both out. and it was a tie game. And I think when it got to 4, he went to sub him in. But there was no stoppage of play, and he couldn't get either guy in the game, and he didn't want to burn his last time out. And he finally burned it when it got to 6, and it was too late. And the Pistons get out of there and win 106-103, and they're going back to Michigan. And this series is that call away, that non-call that the NBA admitted that their officials missed, of being a 3-2 Pistons lead.
Detroit's been the most impressive team in the playoff for me. I thought coming in, Cade Cunningham could be the best player on the floor, but the depth of the Knicks would be too much, and it hasn't been the case. It's a whistle away from being flipped the opposite way. We're looking at the Pistons with an opportunity to close out this series. The way they play, the veterans that are stepping up from Shooter and Tim Hardaway,
Shooter was great
throughout the series, it's been phenomenal for Detroit, and I think it has the Knicks really on their heels, going, wait a second, we've invested this much in the starting lineup. You know they can be really good when Brunson and Cat are going, and they just cannot get rid of the Detroit Pistons.
So going back, you figure, okay, good for Detroit. Detroit's lost 9 straight home games. This is playoff games, right? 9 straight playoff home games. It's all the way back to 2008.
Yes. There haven't been a lot of playoff opportunities since then.
Obviously, if they've only played 9 since 2008. They lost both of them in this series, and of course, one was highly controversial. I'll tell you, there's a number of things that we're really impressed about what they did last night. Winning down the stretch on the road at Madison Square Garden, but JJB bouncing back from the emotion of losing the way they did. And I want to get into that, how young teams mature, because I thought of everything that happened last night, that was the most impressive. We got tickets to give away. 4 tickets to go see the Isotopes in Tacoma. The game will be on the 14th of May, coming up in 2 weeks. Caller number 3 right now at 505-246-0610. That's area code 505-246-0610. Caller 3 will win those 4 tickets, courtesy of your good friend JJ Buck at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView
5.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
All right, into the playoffs last night. The Knicks trying to close out the Pistons. The Pistons were so impressive. Last night, Orlando was leading. Orlando led in the third quarter, 51-47 over the Celtics. Paulo Banchero picked up his fourth foul and then his fifth, and then Boston scored 31 of the next 40 points and routed the Magic. Boston advances 120-89. Detroit 106-103 in New York to stay alive. That series will go back to Michigan with the Knicks up 3-2. Milwaukee was up 7 inside of 40 seconds in overtime and then lost 119-118. The Pacers finish off the Bucks, and Jamal Murray scored 43 last night. Denver beats the Clippers 131-115. That series is 3-2. Denver headed back to Southern California. Good morning to you. Thanks for being with us. Opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610. The sports animal, J. Buck is he. Me, be Jeff Symbieta. Wow. I held a sentence for your grammar police. Let me tell you what I thought was so impressive about the Pistons. I want to finish the sentence. And we did give away those tickets, and we'll have more tomorrow. That's a young team that could have said, you know what, man, we've had a good season. We've grown, and we played our asses off with a team that everybody loves, and boy, we just got hosed, and the league wants the Knicks to advance, and whatever. We'll just go to New York and 1-2-3 Cancun, right? Like the Heat, and they didn't, and they battled. It came down the stretch. They won on the road. I'm not telling you I think the Pistons are going to win this series, because I'm not. I just don't know that they're going to win two more. But they did get hosed in Game 4. You said they're the most impressive. I agree with you. As far as Oklahoma City was really impressive, right? Oklahoma City in sweeping, they were impressive. The Cavaliers were impressive, but
they were not impressive. They did what we expected.
You knew they were good,
one.
right? You knew they were good. But I mean, they took care of business. It was good. This is something now.
Well, because you look at the Pistons, and yes, this is Stuart Thompson and Cade Cunningham and Durant, but this is the balance of they're not a young team. Like Tobias Harris is 32, Schroeder's 33, Beasley's approaching 30. Now it's new experience wise to them, and so that's why you look at. All right, like what is your window, and go get that round one win if you can. And we saw it. Heck, it's what made Trae Young so fascinating a few years ago when he was able to lead his Knicks to a victory over the New York Knicks and dance in the streets the Knicks are all the time. And then got this young guy that comes in, puts you on your heels. And that's the same thing that Cade Cunningham is doing. Now, the Knicks still in control because I don't see the Pistons winning back-to-back games in this, but as close as it's been, I'm just so impressed with coaching, the performance, because this is a series that you go in and say, all right, Cade Cunningham, nice player, really good, finally figuring it out and realizing, oh yeah, he's still only 23 years old. But that's what I like. And, the Pistons and the Pacers to this extent, and I was talking about this a lot last week, is we don't appreciate good in sports enough. Because it's either you're playing for a championship or you should throw away your season because you don't have an elite player or you don't have the quarterback or you should suck. No, it's okay to be competitive because now, yeah, the Pacers, they get to go play the Cavaliers. But who knows? Something goes their way in that series. They play close couple of games. You don't want to see injuries, but someone gets hurt, changes the series, and all of a sudden you could be sitting in the Western Conference Finals. There's nothing wrong with being good. And the Pacers have built that, and the Pistons have that foundation to be a team like that in the future.
There's nothing wrong with being good. I guess the only thing that is wrong is if you max out at being good, right? If that's your ceiling. Good is, to your point, the Pacers. Probably what Oklahoma City's been, unless they get better. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that's a pathway too. At some point in time, it's okay, or you can just suck. Where's that gotten the Philadelphia 76ers?
No.
All right, you have Joel Embiid, you have a bunch of draft picks. Didn't get you anywhere. You can be a Pistons team that actually wins and has a successful franchise that acquired Pascal Siakam, who is one of the most underrated players in the league.
I agree.
That has a Tyrese Halliburton, and maybe they're potentially star away that wants to go there for a season to make a run.
Yeah. No, look, when I think of good in the NBA, like who's good, probably the Lakers right now are good. The Clippers have been good, right? I mean,
there's a sense. It doesn't mean resting on your laurels, but I think we don't give teams credit enough for competing, building, winning rosters. It's either they're all playing to win a championship. I understand that, but like there can be an in between where you're trying to put yourself in position to take that step, like we see with an Oklahoma City that was a young roster that all those players got really good, and now they're one of the favorites in the entire league. Because just putting stars together ain't always the option. Look at the Phoenix Suns. Sucking forever just to get high draft picks isn't going to get you anywhere. Look at the Philadelphia 76ers. So building a winning franchise can get you in position to where, maybe one of those lottery picks actually helps your team in the future. Maybe one of those stars lands where you are, and then you could be the Toronto Raptors that won an NBA championship.
Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't really thought of it in those terms. All right. If you watched last night, what you see, 505-246-0610. We've been in on the Lobos getting a point guard. Dayton Albury, the 6'3" senior, or maybe he's like, is he a junior essentially? Because the 2 years of college, junior college probably don't count. I don't even know how to classify players anymore.
Weirdest things when calling games now.
Right.
Is like, it's a redshirt, a true freshman. Oh, it's a 5th-year player, it's a 6th-year player.
Yeah, it's a 7th year.
Here's just the person.
Yeah. 7th year. Well, I mean, and this would be his...
Because you're like, a senior, it could be a 7th year.
This is his 4th year, fourth team, right? This is his 4th team, right? 4th team in 4 years for Dayton Albury. Because he did 2 years in JUCO, 1 year at Queens in the ASUN, 1 year at Utah State, now he's at New Mexico.
Beat out Utah State and USC for him.
Yeah. So, 5th year of college basketball, 4th team, or 4th school, and might have 2 years of eligibility, or Lord knows how many if that unlimited eligibility thing goes through. And if you're just joining us, and I understand that, we had a conversation earlier about unlimited eligibility and where's this going, and so many of you have asked, and as have I, and how is Mustafa Amsil or CJ Nolan or these other guys who played 4 years of Division, 5 years of Division I athletics, basketball in this case. How are they in the portal? Haven't they expired their eligibility? And the answer is, well, yeah, but yeah, under the current rules, they have, but there is a lawsuit. JJ, I don't even know who filed the lawsuit, but it's going to be, if it goes through, it's going to be a Pavia type lawsuit that basically said the NCAA should not be able to restrict how much eligibility one has to play college athletics. That nobody should be able to put a limit on how many years you play college athletics. And I think all of us are going, wait, what do you mean? Because we've always known, you get 4 years. Well, or maybe you get 5 because of COVID. Oh, maybe you get 6. Oh, that tight end at Miami played 7. But as a rule, should it be unlimited? And I think all of us, and I'm waiting for, if you think that's a good thing for college athletics, I mean, please tell me. I'd like to hear that side of the story. It's good for the individuals who are staying there and making money as long as they can make money. But how is that good for college athletics? It's just another pro league. And what stops somebody from playing a couple years in the NBA or the G League or anywhere else, getting cut, and so their option is playing in the G League, going overseas, or go back to college and make $3-4 million. I'll give you an example of, let's just say Jalen House plays in the G League next year and, plays well, but doesn't make an NBA roster. And Richard Pitino calls him and says, hey, I need a point guard at Xavier, and the rules are going to let you come back, and I got $3.5 million for you. Come play. Is that good for the game? And like this text just says, JJ says, Jens, what happens to the graduating high school seniors? It's from Steve. Where's there room in college basketball for guys coming out of high school to go jump in? And obviously that would limit the roster spots, because we're going to have roster limits. That would limit exponentially the opportunities for high school seniors to get in to play college ball.
Well, it's not changing for basketball, but it's football that we're seeing the roster limits be implemented, which is why we discussed walk-ons going away. It changes the ladder. It's not fair. If you're an elite high school kid, you're still gonna have a spot. But if you're one of those overlooked prospects, your scholarship might not come where you want it. Then there's a 300 and some odd Division I universities, man.
Okay,
and you might not have
there's still a finite number. Obviously,
it's not like South Carolina State or Stetson or crushing the portal with all these.
No, but there's still a finite number, and it's taking away opportunities, which whatever. I mean,
and
it's not a right.
I'm not saying it's fair, but you're asking what does it do? It pushes everything down. It pushes these guys to JUCO, and then they have to take the next step. Then they're the older guys that are taking a roster spot, and
that's how you get in. Yeah, I get it.
Circle, that's
and again, I'll ask the question: how is this good for the greater group? How is this good for the sport?
And it's very short-sighted. It's one where I think the lawsuits for unlimited playing time are extremely selfish. Like the back pay is here, pay for play is here. What these athletes should be doing is talking about how to grow college athletics for the future. How, all right, you've played it. It might not be fair to some guys who are never going to get a piece of the pie, right? You missed out. But you should then be thinking about, okay, how does this system work going forward? How can we maintain this for athletes that aren't going to get paid, man? For athletes that absolutely maximize their eligibility in Olympic sports and things like that. Start going to the table of going, all right, how can we put things in place where we come together as student athletes, have a voice? Because without that, all we're going to have is individuals suing, lawsuits, this thing coming together, and no one being on the same page. And it is extremely, extremely selfish for dudes to be out there just like, you know what? I just want to keep playing college athletics. Bleep the system. Let me file a lawsuit that the NCAA is just going to be like, we're going to lose again.
Yeah, I just want to make money. That's what Rod's saying. He says, how long before the high schools sue, Jeff? If you talk to these high school coaches, they're going to tell you. Whereas Global Athletics, NMSU, UTEP, lived on their campuses in 2019. Now it's Eastern, Western, Fort Lewis, if that. If colleges just keep recycling the same mercenaries, there's nowhere for the high schoolers to go. It's exactly what we're talking And so you're saying, yeah, they go to Fort Lewis or they go to Eastern. There's still a finite number of positions that people can go. Yeah, if you're into it, man, and I'd love to hear the other side of this. How the argument, and we're not there yet, but I'm not convinced we're not going to get there. The argument for unlimited eligibility in college athletics, how that is good for the greater game, how that's good for college athletics. That I should have a 9th year, 29-year-old man at frat parties. Oh, wait, maybe they won't be on campus. Because, I mean, do they have to go to school? I don't even know if they have to go to school anymore. But playing center for the Lobos. If we get there. That's what the lawsuit's asking for. All right, 505-246-0610. Let's talk some football when we get back. Please pick me. Please, I want to play for you. I'll be your guy. And maybe it worked. Get into that when we get back. John Thomas Jewelers is my jeweler. They will be yours the second you walk into the door of their beautiful showroom on the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building. If you're shopping for any jewelry, an engagement ring, a necklace, earrings, a watch, whatever it is, I don't care if it's local, whether you're online, there's only one store in Albuquerque that offers everything that John Thomas Jewelers does, and that's John Thomas Jewelers. They've got over 3,000 men's and women's bridal rings on hand right now for you to try on. If you don't like what they have, they will walk you through the process and they'll create it for you right there, custom ring done in their on-site state-of-the-art design center. They've got the only free lifetime nation warranty in Albuquerque. So whatever you're looking for, an engagement ring, an anniversary gift, just a wow gift, maybe something for you. Go see why they're the only 5-star Google-rated full-service jewelry store in town. Why John Thomas Jewelers is the fastest-growing jeweler in New Mexico for 3 straight years. Why they've been voted the best jeweler in Albuquerque 4 straight years. Why they've been named the coolest jewelry store in America by In-Store Magazine. So many reasons. Go see for yourself. John Thomas Jewelers is the best jeweler in Albuquerque, period. Visit them on Louisiana. 1 block south of Manal. 3rd floor of the Lewis University building, 2440 Louisiana Northeast, Suite 310 on the 3rd floor. John Thomas Jewelers, where Albuquerque gets engaged.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Rate.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66.
Derby this weekend. We are going to be at the Sawmill Market, live at Sawmill Market for Kentucky Derby. Derby Day is coming up on Saturday. That's where you want to be. Come out and join the sports animal. Tell your friends. Eat specials, drink specials. Come out to the Sawmill Market Saturday. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the people. Enjoy the ponies. It is Derby Day. Man, wear your bonnets. Wear your special suit. Dress up for the Derby. See you out at Sawmill on Saturday. When I was in Louisville about a month and a half ago, we drove by. We didn't go in, but we drove by Churchill Downs. I had no concept. I've been to horse tracks before, and I know they're big. I had no concept how big Churchill Downs was. It is an enormous facility. It was impressive just being there. All right, 505-246-0610. We're talking about, we'll go back to that. We're talking about the transfer portal and Dayton Albury, the now Lobo point guard, coming in, and how many years of eligibility, and not really sure, and we kind of got sidetracked onto unlimited eligibility, which is something that's now being talked about and is out there. So, but I want to hit some NFL stuff, and I want a guy who wants to be here. I want to be in a place where I'm wanted, right? Draft day, Will Howard, the now former Ohio State quarterback, said in front of the cameras, please pick me, urging the Steelers to pick him. He ended up being the 8th quarterback taken in the draft. He's from Dowingtown, which is a Philadelphia suburb. So he stays in the state. Played 4 years at Kansas State, went to Ohio State for that last season. They won a national championship. He was really, really good. 35 touchdowns, 73% completion. I don't know if that's why they took him, but I appreciate it.
Well, he's getting nervous. 6th round.
Yeah.
Phone's probably ringing. Some teams talking to you about, hey, undrafted free agent, you're going to be on our list. What do you think? And he's just like, oh, I just want to get drafted.
Yeah.
There's the welcome to the NFL cameras following some of these rookies, and he's there. Steelers on the clock, like, please, 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 you need a quarterback. Let's go.
I'm down with it. Actually, I'm actually all about it. I appreciate that. I appreciate confidence. I appreciate what J.J. McCarthy
opportunity.
said.
You go in there, it's Skylar Thompson, Mason Rudolph, and Will Howard, and if Aaron Rodgers wants to show up.
Maybe Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, maybe Aaron Rodgers. And, he loves rookies and treats them real well. from a former Ohio State quarterback to a former Michigan quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. Remember, he was the 10th overall pick in the draft a year ago, Minnesota Vikings. Then he got hurt. Missed the whole season. Sam Darnold played. Sam Darnold is now the Raiders quarterback. Is that the Seahawks quarterback?
Seattle Seahawks starting quarterback, Sam Darnold.
JJ, I'm not. Why was he in front of the media? Was there an appearance? Why was he in front of the media yesterday? Just because?
Workout season.
Was it workouts? Okay. Quote McCarthy, I know I'm ready to start, and I appreciate that question. Personally, I think the more pressure, the better for me. That's something I thrive off. They always say the cliche, pressure is a privilege, but that's something you sign up for when you play in the National Football League, especially at the quarterback position. It's his, man. I mean, where else are they going? It's J.J. McCarthy, right?
And that pressure for a redshirt rookie stepping in there, though, Addison and Justin Jefferson and Hawkinson, Mr. Jones in the backfield. High expectations.
They went out and got Sam Howell from Seattle/Washington as their backup quarterback. So it's him. It's all him. They're turning this over to J.J. McCarthy, and they're not giving J.J. McCarthy some sort of a reclamation project. They're not giving him training wheels. They're giving him a team that, if I'm recalling correctly, went 14-3 in the regular season last year, right?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
14-3 roster. To your point, a receiving core that might be as good at 1 and 2, and if you throw in the tight end, that 1-2 tight end position as there is. Jefferson, Addison, they're really good. Aaron, you just said it. The UTEP guy, UTEP.
Aaron Jones.
God bless it. Played in our game. Aaron Jones.
UTEP,
Green Bay. Yeah. Running back.
And Caleb Williams had the experience. Now, same thing. He continues to have a loaded offense.
How can I forget
Ben
Jones,
Johnson in year one, Jordan Love in the Packers, Jared Goff in the Lions. It's one where it's not going to be much of a honeymoon period for J.J. McCarthy. We expect a lot out of him early.
No, it's now. It's now. All right, we're late for break. Let me take this. When we come back, we've all been in a golf cart. You got a buddy who hurt himself in a golf cart? I know a guy who had his leg hanging out and then caught it on the curb and that ankle turned the wrong way. Like golf cart. Everybody drives a golf cart. I mean, it's no big deal, right? Golf carts can be very, very dangerous. Just ask John Elway. Or the guy riding with John Elway. It's next in the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth.
Last night's hoops was good. Rockies lost again last night, JJ. 8-2.
No.
Atlanta beat the Rockies. They are 4-25. So they're on pace to go 16-100. No, is that right? 25. Yeah, right? If they win the next 25 games. Is that about right? 16, 18, and 100? They're like to win under 30 games this year. I mean, they'll turn it around, right? They're going to get way better because they're going to call up all the yard goats. Oh, my goodness. 8-2 last night. They lose. All right, you ever been in a golf cart and thought, wow, this is dangerous?
Yes.
Have you really?
Yes.
When?
Well, if you get caught in a situation
Side of a hill?
where you're like, oh, I didn't expect this to be that steep.
Yep. Could tilt it. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. John Elway was driving a golf cart. This was in Palm Springs, and his business partner and his former agent evidently fell out of the golf cart and suffered life-threatening injuries. This is a TMZ report. Jeff Spurbeck is the guy's name. He's 61 years old. Him and Elway have been friends, and he was Elway's manager all the way back to 1990. Dude is on life support. He fell off the back of the golf cart. So it was hanging on like where the clubs are. He hit his head on the asphalt. It was at La Quinta. So TMZ confirmed that Elway was driving the golf cart. There was no indication that he was driving negligently. Spurbeck fell. Elway was reported driving the cart after attending a party with their spouses. I mean, freak accidents happen all the time, I imagine. The California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection is who responded to this. It was a golf collision call, and they took him to the trauma center. Be careful next time you're on the golf course. What's the worst injury you ever seen on a golf cart? Because I've seen dudes flip golf carts before. Like we had at our tournament 2 years in a row, same clowns flipped the golf cart. We had to pay for the damage. All right, enough. Stop. Drink water. You know you can drink water, for crying out loud.
Yeah, that's bad if you do it back to back years.
Same dudes flipped the golf cart at our tournament for his Leonard New Mexico Bowl years ago. No more. Don't flip the damn golf carts. But I mean, like I told you, I saw you see people all the time with their feet hanging out.
Never seen anything in person.
So dude, feet out, and so you come up on the tee box where there's the curb, and he caught his foot, and the foot went that way when the cart went that way, and yeah, it was really gnarly foot damage. Really, really bad. I keep your arms and legs in the vehicle at all times. That's sick. I mean, wow. All right. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Text line. What's the projected starting five for the Lobos? Do they have all their starters, or are we still looking for one or two? JJ, I don't know that you have one. I would assume that Aubrey would be your guard. Well, is Aubrey?
You could put a five together right now.
Hop,
Dayton Aubrey,
right, and Hop.
So Hop at 2. If you want to go that way.
Chol at the 3.
Well, it could actually be Aubrey, Howell.
Yeah, and that's the UC San Diego transfer.
Yeah.
I think he starts.
Chris Howell.
Yeah, and then Hop and Chol and the guy from Iowa State.
No, I think Kevin Patton has a chance to start at 3. USC transfer. Chol at the 4, then Rock at the 5.
All right.
But I think it's what is going to be a lot different this year. Not just the style of play, but I think it's going to be a much deeper rotation.
Fair to say there's probably a starter, maybe two that aren't on the roster yet?
Could be.
I mean, you're still out in it, man. I think you're still deep digging.
Like the only, I think two, like it's Albury. I think you could pencil him into a starter. I think
that's probably
Chris Howell is for sure starting. The 6'6" wing from UCSD.
I think that's right as well. Yeah. And I think Chol's starting for sure, right?
So yeah, maybe 3 right there.
Yeah, and then you assume the big guy. Yeah, all right. Things are going to change, man. And then I'm going to get the email. There's only one basketball. Where are all the minutes coming from, Jeff? I'm waiting for that one. You can send it to me about July. Or why are they practicing so early? Is that one coming too? Why are they working out so early? They're going to get tired.
We can start sending that in right now. So
Yep.
I'm sure players are working out and actually playing some pickup basketball, which is crazy.
Can you believe
Basketball
that?
players playing basketball.
Yeah, I mean, they should just be resting and studying for finals. Finals have to be coming up, right? Addie's almost done, dude. Michigan finals like this week, campus is empty. Child's home this weekend, dude. So they should be studying for finals. It's got to be happening. Yeah. It's graduation season. All right. 505-246-0610. You're in there. Jack says, do you blame these dudes, Jeffy? If I'm an average 27-year-old player, do I want to go make $50,000 a year in the D League or become a professional student athlete and make 10 times that while getting to hang out at sorority parties with 19-year-old girls? Do I blame the players? Do I blame the guys who are looking out just for them? No, I blame the system, and I blame whatever allows it to happen. Look, man, if all of us could have put off our life for another, I don't know, 3, 4, 7 years and made a bunch of money and just lived the college life without having to go get a job, we all would have done it, right? Plus making a bunch of money. No, do I blame the guys who were trying to do this? Do I blame Diego Pavia for suing the NCAA to get those years back so he could make more money and maximize his earning years? No, I don't blame them. I blame the system. I blame what's allowing this to happen because, Jack, I'll ask you this. While it is better for the guy, the 27-year-old player, go ahead and help me understand how it's better for the game, how it's better for college basketball. Well, Jeff, I mean, the game's going to be better because, really? I need another semi-professional league? Well, that's already what college is. Kind of. But there's been some limits on it. I need 27-year-old dudes playing college basketball because they don't want to go sell insurance, so they don't want to go get a job, because somebody's going to continue to give them $3-4 million a year? No, man. It's like, I don't blame the player for being, in this case, selfish and doing what's best for me. Do you feel the same way on that?
I don't blame the player, but it's one that I hope it's a lawsuit that they don't win.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. I hope it's a lawsuit that they do not win. Because I don't think it's best for the game. And I again, Jack, I appreciate that. I'm hoping somebody can give me an idea why it's better for the game. It's better for the student athlete that's making that money instead of selling insurance. I always go back to that. I don't know why I go back to that. I love you guys. I love my insurance guy. Right? But whatever it is you do.
Rather than trying to move that Nissan Altima, it's been sitting in the corner a lot for a year and a half.
Right? Or go play hoops and fake your way through some classes if you even have to do that. And make $200-300 up to, however much money you're going to make. Yeah. We're all told to look out for ourselves because nobody else is going to look out for us. No, I'm not blaming them. The blame would be on the system that allows it to happen and ultimately caves. Got a text on this when we get back. 505-246-0610. How's your car looking? You're in it right now, aren't you? Look around. I know. I know. It's a mess. Mine is too. Look, it just happens, man. It just gets that way, and I call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. On the Spot Automotive Detailing will come out and take care of it. Talk to them about paint protection film, ceramic coating. This will prevent those nasty scratches, the stains, the fading paint, Call on the spot. They're awarded best in the city because they're best in the city. They know what it takes to provide quality care for your vehicle. You can protect your car's value and book with them online at otsdetailing.com today. Look, you're probably going to have that vehicle for a while. With everything that's going on, with tariffs and everything, you're probably going to have that vehicle for a while. It's one of your biggest investments. Take care of it. And have them come out and detail it. Inside, outside, around the rims, under the hood, under the seats, all the places you never get. You can have that new car feeling. Remember the day you took it home? You could have new car feeling without a new car price. That's what On the Spot Automotive Detailing does. And they come to you. And they do it at your convenience. You don't take it to them. They come to your office. They come to your home, wherever it is you want them to be. They detail your car there. And when they're done, your car looks and feels and smells brand new. On the Spot Automotive Detailing is a great gift as well. Got graduation gifts coming up, huh? That's a good one. OTSDetailing.com. That's where they are. OTSDetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no
portals and college athletics and eligibilities. Lobos get a transfer guard, a veteran guard, Dayton Albury, the 6'3 senior, the 6'3 player who will be playing his 4th year of college basketball, but only his 3rd year at Division I. It'll be his fourth school in the last 4 years. But he's good, man. And this is a good get for UNM. Played the Mountain West, played for a team that went to the NCAA tournament. Was a really good point guard. I think this is a terrific get. They beat USC as the two those were the 2 finalists for Dayton Albury. And you say he's a senior because he played. I mean, this would be his 5th year, right? 2 years of junior college ball. I played a year at Queens in the Atlantic Sun. Played 1 year at Utah State, and then this would be his 5th year. But if in fact the 2 junior college years don't count, and Lobo fan, if that's the case, you can thank Diego Pavia for that, then he would have 2 years of eligibility left. And I mean, I'm not going to promise you he'd play them both here. I can't make that promise, nor can anybody. But it got us into the talk about unlimited eligibility for college athletics. And JJ, I asked the question, right? Jack sent me that note about the 27-year-old. You blame him, who would stay in college and just play until they tell him you can't play anymore because there's a lawsuit that says there should be unlimited eligibility. You can't tell me how long I can play. And if they win that, I said, tell me why it's better for the game. He said, it's not better for the game, which is why I'm not watching. But apparently I'm in the minority as NCAA ratings were up. The public can't get enough of these guys playing at their 4th school in 6 years. Where do you think the threshold is, the breaking point is, where people just say, I just don't care anymore?
Unlimited eligibility.
Okay. So you think Lobo fan at that point would just go, I'm done? Or is Lobo fan different?
I think we'd get more people saying, I don't feel like investing at this level. Because college athletics, even with the pay model, it's, all right, this is a step. Now, it's not the step for everyone, just, go here, and then you're going pro, but there's a model that works, that makes sense. It's a developmental league for professional sports where now you can cash in if you aren't someone that's going to make a ton of money over there. And I think the majority of people will deal with that, buy in, support your team, see the players, for 4 or 5 years. Now it's year to year, harder, understandable, but I think we would definitely see a lot more people just cashing out if there was no limits on it.
I think you're right. I think at that point, look, I've told you this, and we'll have this conversation in 10 years. Over the next decade, I'm interested to see the erosion, if there is one, of fan bases in college athletics. Now, if you're Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, USC alumni, you're going to be in it because your team is going to be participating, in contention every year for a national football championship. And I think there's something still to that. There's 351 NCAA Division I college basketball programs, and so for the majority of those, if your roster flips completely every year, and I understand it won't flip, like the Lobo roster is 100% flipped. There's nobody left. I don't believe it'll flip 100% next year. I understand when coaching changes happen. But look at Indiana, look at Baylor, how long are fans, just every year, there's 8, 9 guys flipped. At what point do they just say, bleep it? I'm good. I don't care. And I don't know. I'm interested to watch it because I think there's going to be an erosion. I do. All right, let's get into the playoffs last night. 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610 is how to get here. Nuggets, Pacers, Celtics, and Pistons win last night. Which was the best one for you to watch? Which one meant the most? And let's look ahead because both the Warriors and Lakers play tonight in 3-1 series, separate ones. It's the opening drive. He's J.J. Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. Thanks for being with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason with a Sportsman ad. Kudos to the great Luka Doncic for stepping up to cover the entire cost of repairing a recently vandalized downtown.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros
Winners last night in the NBA. The Nuggets beat the Clippers 131-115. Denver's up 3-2 in that series. The Pistons win at Madison Square Garden 106-103 to avoid elimination. They're going back to Michigan. Knicks are up 3-2. Celtics closed out the Magic 120-89, and the Pacers in overtime closed out the Bucks in a big meltdown 119-118. Good morning to you, boys and girls, and thank you for spending time with us at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. I am Jeff Symbieta. He is JJ Buck. JJ, we've been talking about all this college eligibility stuff and the text line. And if you're just joining us, we're talking a lot about the Lobos' new point guard, Dayton Albury. And we call him a senior, but I mean, you don't know how many years of eligibility he'll have left. And then it got into the guys who were suing for unlimited eligibility and what that could mean. And text line says, JJ, with all this unlimited college eligibility, do grades even matter anymore? I'm not certain they do. And I think at some point, you know, if you get into the unlimited eligibility, are they even going to have to go to school?
Well, if you get into that point, no, we're done with school.
So it's
like
just
now
pro
you still have
sports.
to get it to work to qualify. Like that's I think one of the reasons we see why these players release. Like everyone says, oh, you know, get coach on and talk about players. Well, he can't talk about half the players yet that you signed because they're not official. So I mean, there's still part of that process going on. If you do have to at least get registered. You're still, like, say all you want about it, you still have to be a student to play right now.
No. Do you have to make grades? Not if you're but if you're transferring next year, you still have to have grades to be eligible at the next place.
Get into school.
Yeah, at the next place. But I think to your point, if we hit this threshold of unlimited eligibility, it's just pro sports on college campuses wearing college names.
Yeah, and that is why, again, I hope that stuff doesn't happen, but even whatever happens, like these student athletes now that are in college have to start asking themselves, what do they want the next few years to look like? What do they want this to look like? Because what we're talking about, yeah, everyone's in the transfer portal, but the percentage of players that's benefiting from a lot of money, it's really only football and men's basketball right now. Yeah. So what does it look like for everyone else?
All right, this just coming down. The NFL has fined the Atlanta Falcons $250,000 and their defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich, $100,000 for failing to prevent the disclosure of confidential information distributed to the club in advance of the NFL draft. This all stems from Ulbrich's son, Jack's prank phone call to Shedeur Sanders. Kind of feel they got off light. Look, do I feel that what he did was the only person who I think did something egregious here is the guy's not getting fined by the NFL because he can't, and that's the kid. And hopefully daddy whoops his ass and does something about it, right? And I say that figuratively. Like takes away his car or his phone, or he's 21 years old if he's still living at home. If I'm at home, dude, Let me back this up. Who called the other day said Ulbrich should be fired over this? Remember somebody did? Yeah. I don't believe that. We've all gone through our computer training at our corporate, right? You go through it in cybersecurity, and if you leave your desk, make sure you lock your computer and don't leave sensitive information where somebody can get it. When I'm at home, if my kid's around, if your wife's around, if your husband, whatever, it feels like it should be different, but obviously in this case with this individual, it wasn't. I mean, should protocols be different to lock your computer and sensitive information when you walk away from it at the kitchen table? It feels like it should, right? I should trust my family.
Yeah, this is one where we're not talking about signal chats of government information. Like, it's cell phone of prospects on your iPad that you're not thinking that your 21-year-old son is planning to prank call Shedeur Sanders.
I'd like to believe I can trust my kid. They had to do something. The NFL had to do something.
And it's not crazy to think that he might know a password to an iPad, even if it's, or maybe it didn't even have a like.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess he walked by and it was up.
Work iPad, whatever. It could just be open, and the kid, I don't think it was just up. He had to go look for it.
You think he thumbed through it when Dad walked away?
Oh yeah, to get it, because that's planned. And then sit down with your buddies and film it. So I think finding the organization is fine in this case. Finding the coach is good because that's, you're responsible for that. But in terms of losing your job over it, I don't think
you should have been fired. No, I agree with that. You can get in on this. It's 505-246-0610. So the NFL has fined the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are going, what the hell did we do? Right? The Falcons are going like, wait, why are you hitting me for $250,000? I mean, $250,000 the Falcons is obviously not very much money.
I'd be responsible for employees.
Yeah, but your guys at home, because I got to believe this happened at home, unless maybe the kid was in the facility. Do we know where the kid got the info?
So the NFL's the draft, they send out like the contact info to coaches and assistant coaches.
Right.
So whether it was probably at home.
Well,
like
it's a big difference. If the kid's at the facility, then I guess that's why you find the team. But if it's at home,
there's to me where this makes sense to find them. That this is important information. You have to be better about it. But then to look and be like, it's an adult. It's 21 years old. Like, you just trust your kid. All right, my stuff's around, and then he seeks out an iPad, does this dumb prank. He's taking it. The public humiliation is the heat coming from him.
The public humiliation is a lot, but I mean, there's got to be something.
And that's if you're the NFL.
But you can't find the kid if you're the NFL. And if you're daddy, what do you do, man? Like, if that was your kid, what do you do? You're just so disappointed in your kid. Like, that would be my biggest thing. Like, I'm so mad at you, but I'm so disappointed that that's who you are. You know what I mean? That you think to do that you betrayed me, first of all.
Yeah.
And you put me in this position. So I'm really angry, but I'm so disappointed. Like, who are you?
That's what you do. What you just said, you have that face-to-face with your son.
Like, how the hell did we get here?
You're not going to be like, oh, like, you could say, well, I'm not taking away your iPhone for a week. Like, you have that conversation. You're an adult at that point in time. Go, what are you doing? You're 21 years old. I get it. You're having fun, but this isn't the fun you can be having.
Do you realize what you've done to me, my career, everything?
Maybe what this family look like? That's what you do. You sit down and you have that conversation.
Like, I love you, but who the hell are you?
Yeah.
All right, 505-246-0610. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Rudy.
Hey, good morning. I'm probably really going to date myself, but Jeff, you might remember Norby Walters and Lloyd Bloom, two Hollywood agents that bought a suit for Chris Carter to attend the Heisman, and it cost him a year of eligibility.
Is that
you
right?
Remember that?
I don't.
Chris Carter was the All-American from Ohio State.
Yeah, no, I knew that, but I don't remember that incident.
Yeah, that's what kind of started all of this stuff, and agents and way back when. And I remember when you couldn't buy a kid a sandwich, right?
You couldn't put cream cheese on his bagel.
You couldn't do anything if you were quote unquote a booster sponsor was defined as anybody who ever attended a game. So fast forward to now where let's just let the kid play until he's 30 years old.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Because we don't want to have rules anymore. Rules, what are rules? You know, you can have women competing against men who say they're women. I've never seen it the other way. Have you?
That men or women competed as men.
Yeah.
I mean, I would promise you that it's probably happened, but it hasn't been a big deal because they haven't been winning. But you don't think that there's transgender men that have competed?
Well, we know that's happened.
Women,
but they're not taking over sports.
Biological women who are competing as men. Yeah, I'm sure it's happened somewhere.
But you don't. I've never heard it, and maybe it has, but it's always the other way around.
Right, because of the advantage. Yes.
Of course, it's an advantage. You wouldn't do it if it wasn't an advantage.
Well, that's not why people are transitioning. They're not transitioning simply to compete in sports.
We don't know people's motivations, and I'm not going to sit here and guess those. But all I'm saying is, we're in an age of sports now where, yeah, if you're going to be a fan, you could be a fan of Baylor and you still turn your team over. I don't know how you have a sitting coach where every single player leaves. That's kind of unusual. Something is going on there. I don't know what it was, but a coach leaves, everybody's going to leave. You know, I think that's the trend because that's it. Everybody's a free agent now. But I would hope, and my hope is that there's going to be some sanity coming back, and that there has to be some guardrails. There has to be some way to control how long a person competes at the collegiate level. And it used to be basically your schoolwork, right?
Well, schoolwork, and you get 5 years to complete 4 years of eligibility. That's what it's been. Right. I mean, that's what college is. College is essentially a 4-year deal. Sometimes it's 5. It can't be a profession, man. It just it will destroy college athletics. I think everybody at that point is just like, whatever, I'm done, and it won't sustain.
So when are the presidents of the universities going to stand up and say we're going to restore sanity? I mean, even in professional sports, you have a salary cap.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. And this you don't.
There is no salary cap right now in college athletics.
Because you have to collectively bargain.
If you're a billionaire and you decide that Rick Pitino is your guy, here's a blank check. You can buy a team. Yeah. And I know we were trying to have a model of amateurism, or to some extent, I guess what you would call it in the old days, a journeyman, a system where, look, if you're in a union, you don't get to be the senior lead guy your first day on the job.
Yeah, you earn your way up.
Yeah, you earn your way up, HVAC, whatever you do. I've represented union guys, in the past, and it's a ladder that you climb. Now they're saying, no, you can just go ahead and try to take the elevator to the top, I guess. It's a crazy time for sports.
It is.
For sure.
No, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. It is crazy. Let's keep them going. 505-246-0610. Lamont, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. How are you, Lamont?
Good morning. I'm just really just blown away about this whole situation. This man, his dad, has probably been working his whole life just to get to this position.
Jeff Ulbrich, yeah.
And it's prestigious.
Yep.
It's prestigious to be an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator or a head coach in the NFL.
Yep.
And what were they teaching the kid this whole time? How does he's not even a kid, 21 years old. But it's disappointing, and I really hope that they can get through this, because it's going to have repercussions.
Yep.
Like, he's already been fined. Hopefully he still has a job. Hopefully he still has a position in the NFL, because NFL is like a microscope, like any professional sports. They look through your family. They look through your whatever you're into. Like, but yeah, that's all I want to say.
No, it's a great call. To his point, Jeff Ulbricht's worked his whole life to become a defensive coordinator in the NFL. By every count, he's really good at what he does. I don't know if he's a good parent or not. I'm going to guess he is. Look, you all know children of good parents who've done stupid things. This is a stupid thing. Now, this is a stupid thing on a huge level. I don't know Jax Ulbricht. He might be a good kid that just did a really dumb thing. I tell you all the time, you just because you do something stupid doesn't make you stupid, right? You get drunk once or you were drunk. You know, I don't know this kid at all. Maybe he is a knucklehead, and that's what he does. All I know is this was really, really off the charts, stupid and embarrassing, and it's internationally known now, right? I mean, nobody doesn't know about this. And if you're Jeff Ulbricht, the defensive coordinator of the Falcons, I mean, you got to eat this. And what did you do, man? You left your computer open on the kitchen table?
Even so, you're just at home. You don't expect your 21-year-old son to just start looking through it for Shedeur Sanders' phone number.
And what do you do with the kid?
And this is, it's the thing. It's directly related to the coach. You know, that's where he got the information from. He wasn't given to his son. His son was able to seek it out because the other prank calls no one cares about.
And there were others.
There were other prank calls. Now, maybe it was, hey, I knew Tyler's friend. I'm talking about Tyler Warren. He's one of the top draft picks who went in the top 10 and got a prank call. Probably like, oh, my buddy went to school with him, and here's his phone number type of deal. This was just straight from a work computer. Boom.
All right, if you're there, stay there. We got 2 lines open, 2 lines full. I got to hit this break. You're up when we come back. It's Opening Drive. He's JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Simpieta on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This is The Herd.
Wow.
With Colin Cowherd.
So think about Jack.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For
246-0610. Zay, thanks for holding here on these Sports Animal Morning, Zay.
What's going on, Jeff? Nice to hear your voice. Welcome back.
What's
man.
up, dude? How you living?
I'm living pretty good. So here's how I feel about this this thing here. You guys hit it right on the head by saying that it happened to other players, right?
Yep.
So I think this exposes the NFL on, I think a lot of times what they do is whenever they look at publicly, they're very, very quick to just throw fines out without really caring if it's fair or not. They just want people to look at it and say, okay, the NFL cares. The Shedeur story was big, so they had to do something about it. And then also I think this is for prevention. So although, this may not be the coach's intentional fault directly, but moving forward, I know for a fact all GMs, all coaches are going to make sure that number stays disclosed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just kind of my opinion.
No,
also,
good.
again, nice to hear you again. I'll keep listening.
Thanks, man. Thanks for filling in last week. Appreciate you.
Of course.
All right, man. We'll see you. I think he's right. And this is proprietary information. This happened one of two ways. Either the kid, Jax, I say the kid, the son, was at the facility, right? Which I don't know how this, or dad had the computer open at home and walked away from it, and at the kitchen table or in his home office, and the kid. But this is on the kid. The NFL can't find the kid. I keep saying the kid, the son. He's a 21-year-old man.
This was done intentionally.
Of course.
It wasn't just, this is open. Maybe I'll see what's there. No, it's like that. Probably talk. Yeah, you tell your son things. Oh yeah, this is a process.
Yeah, we got these are all the phone numbers for all the athletes.
How we contact.
Yeah. Because you trust your
you trust your kid. And then he goes out there, does something stupid. Fining is what you have to do for the NFL. No, I think with other things, Zay's point is correct. Maybe they just do it because they don't want to have to deal with something. But in this case, I don't think dude should be fired. And as you said, this is stuff that, there's the public humiliation because everyone knows who his kid is. He's getting hit on social media. But just from a standpoint of being a parent, you just sit down and it's the whole, you're mad too, but then you drop, the disappointed line on him. Like what did I raise you to do? What did I raise you like? And you made this decision with your friends because it was calculated because they sat down and they recorded it. And we've all had those moments raising our kids. Where you have to sit there at the table and just go, what is going on?
I look back at some of the stuff I've done and I think of Selection Sundays, right? Where I've got a list of athletic directors and coaches' phone numbers that's proprietary. And as we go through it, and my daughter has been in my office on Selection Sunday, so this would be at the office. I'm looking back at like, what have I done? And I've kind of walked her through the process. So here's a list of the coaches, and if this coach, we're going to call this athletic director, and this is how it goes. And she's been in the office when I've called athletic directors and invited them to the bowl game. And I'm going back and thinking, gosh, she could have really done me dirty. I absolutely trust my kid, and that's why I walked her through the process and showed her what happens. She knows more than most about the process of how teams are selected. But as I go back through it in my mind, damn, dude. She could have, right? But I trust my kid. But I guess, now that I look back on it, I guess, boy, I don't want to have to double or second guess myself for that kind of stuff. Jeffrey, good morning. Thanks for holding your on these Sports Animal. What's up, Jeffrey?
Hey, good to have you back. Just wanted to comment a little bit on Lobo basketball. And as a preface, let me just say, obviously, I'm not pleased with the trajectory of college sports, particularly with the NIL influence. And unfortunately, the word student-athlete seems to be becoming even more irrelevant. But anyway, with Pitino exiting the Lobos basketball roster and having to be, reconstructed from scratch, accompanied with the current NIL model, is there a potential upside for the Lobos, at least for this particular year? And here's what I mean. With Coach, is it Olin? Is it Coach Olin? Yeah. With the coach and his staff having to select particular players with particular talents so that the entire Lobo roster this year will have immediate value, unlike most rosters in the past, comprised with walk-ons and the proverbial, bench warmers. At least for this year, is there a potential that every player will have, value, unlike some of the other players in the past? I mean, that could be some positive upside, at least for this 1 year.
The attitude, I think so. I mean, everybody's got a value. I think.
Well, to Jeffrey's point, there absolutely is going to be a different level of expectation. It's not coming in and I have 7 players that I'm teaching my system to. He is picking every one of these guys and signing them because he believes they fit exactly what he wants to do.
Yeah, I guess that's my point. So at least for this 1 year, even though I don't like the model, I think the Lobos could have value across the board and with immediate, playing time potential as well. So whatever that means, that's kind of my thought.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm looking at the roster. What did somebody ask? What's the starting lineup? I think Chol absolutely starts, and I think Aubrey absolutely starts, right? And I think Howell absolutely starts. So that's your 1, your 3, and your 4 probably, and probably Rock is your starting center, and then I'm going to guess maybe Luke Hopp or Patton. Vicentich probably plays. You got both Pattons. Like I think you got depth. I think you're going to be good.
Competitive.
All right, fair enough. And you got 3 more, 4 more spots to fill. Who doesn't play right now? I mean, I don't know how much time Jake Hall gets. I don't know how much time Uriah Tennant gets, to be honest with you, right? But again, I don't know. Let's watch it play out. Do both Howells play? Does Vicentich play? Let's watch it play out as you're building a roster. He seems to go a little bit deeper than Richard did, right? As far as rotations. Certainly deeper than JJ Redick.
Yeah, and things tighten up later in the season for every basketball team, but I expect a more of expanded rotation too, just to figure out, okay, how do these pieces work together? And we've discussed this before, and kind of going back to Jeffrey's point, like the expectations for Lobo basketball have been reset, and fans are back on board. Like, want to see this team compete for championships, want to cut down nets. Now the reality is, you have to temper those expectations a bit when there's 100% turnover in your coaching staff and roster, but where you start chipping away and say, okay, but it's the fact that Olin has picked every one of these guys and said they fit what I want to do.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. All right, keep them coming. 505-246-0610. Get another half hour for you today. You can get in on the fine that the NFL has levied on the Falcons and on their defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich. You can get in on the conversation we've been having about eligibility and unlimited eligibility and how much where's college basketball going. You can get in on the new Lobo point guard, Dayton Albury. And I think they got 5 spots left to fill. The roster, I mean, do you like the way the roster's coming around? I think it's pretty good. We'll see come November, December, January, February. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
You're listening to the Jim Rome Show.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal, to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been.
As we go through, what could be and how does this thing get even further off the rails? Terry, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Terry.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, JJ. Sounds like you had a wonderful trip. Glad that went well. Hope you had a good time.
Thank you.
I'm comparison the Falcons DC Sun, which we all with Sun sometimes hope they're going to do something goofy, but not too goofy. Yeah. But now I'm comparing it to Halliburton's dad, who went on the court after Giannis.
Totally fair.
So you got that. So somebody's having to be able to say their kid goofed, and then the other guy going, Dad, come on, Dad. And because he's kind of lucky Giannis didn't lay him out.
I agree.
It was just one of those where you go, and will they take any action against him? Like, you got to sit up in the bleachers way up there, or you can't come to a game for a couple of games. But, yeah, that could have got really...
I think they should, don't you? Yeah. Do you guys believe that, something should happen? For those of you who missed it, Tyrese Halliburton's dad, after the series ended yesterday, Pacers came back. The Bucks blew a 7-point lead with 39 seconds to go in overtime. Horrible emotional loss. The Bucks fell apart. They're eliminated. And Giannis Antetokounmpo had 30 points, 20 rebounds, 13 assists, I think 12 assists, whatever it was, 12 assists. And then Tyrese Halliburton's dad's in his face, talking bleep, waving a towel. And Giannis got angry and almost knocked him out. So for that, what Terry's talking about, I agree, JJ. Don't you think something like the dad, you can't come to games? Something, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Terry, continue.
Okay, no, that's what I get at. That you got both sides. Whatever generation screws up, it's got to be held accountable some way or not. And so, from that level, last little note: my son's currently coaching at a junior college in Texas for football, and they're trying to figure out rules. If the rules change, will it help them, hurt them? Saying, "Here, come play here." It's really not going to count against your eligibility. And then contacting bigger schools saying, hey, maybe you toss us a few bucks and use this as your minor league system. I just hope they figure it out some way and don't, drag it out. And, yeah, they've lost everything going to court. But, maybe they'll have Granddad Day where somebody will bring their grandkids for, their senior last year of eligibility. But I don't see any schools when – Rudy is saying they all got to get together. Presidents don't care. USC's president, UCLA's president, they didn't care when they left to go to the Big Ten. Nobody wants to work together, and until they figure out a way to do that and have a little trust within themselves, I don't see anything happening positive. But we'll have to wait and see on that. But you guys have a great day. Take care. Be safe.
See you. At some point, there's going to be some presidents who say, no, man, we're not having 29-year-old guys in their 8th year at their 7th school. Or I think.
Yeah, I think that's when you would see schools say, all right, this is not worth it.
It's not why we're doing this.
Collegiate athletics. This is not, even in the business model of this makes zero sense for our university.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. You can get in on all that. What Terry was talking about, that's interesting. I had not equated the two, but I think it's fair. The Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator's son embarrassing the family and going out and stealing Shador's number from dad's iPad and making the prank. And Tyrese Halliburton's dad playing the fool on the court after the game and going after Giannis. Yeah, I think that's fair to equate those. And again, the league can't find someone who's not their employee. I don't believe.
But you can ban them.
You know what, Tyrese? Your dad can't be.
Your dad is not.
He's done
going
for
to
the
be able
playoffs.
to watch games for the rest of the postseason.
Yeah, get him a TV. Go buy him a TV. We can't have that fool in the building anymore. And I don't know if that's just who he is, if he was liquored up, if he was just overly excited. Look, it was an emotional game now. If that game was a 55-point blowout like it was in Miami, that mess doesn't happen. And that's why it escalated to the point where there were, a lot of hold me back, bro moments. But I would not have been surprised if someone took a swipe at someone. Overly emotional. Overtime game, elimination game, a proud franchise in the Bucks. A guy who won a championship 3 years ago got eliminated in the first round for the third straight year. They blow a 7-point lead in the last 39 seconds. Vomited all over themselves. I mean, basically. This was, to me, again, 90% collapse, 10% comeback. Giannis, his season's over. He's got to be thinking, gosh, was that my last game with the Bucks? And I got this clown waving a towel on the court in my face, talking bleep at me? Oh, and by the way, I find out it's the star of the other team's dad? Like, the NBA, it can't be that way. I said this in the first hour, and I'll say this again. I know you disagree with me. I hope this is not a precursor to something that's going to happen. There are too damn many people on the floor at the end of a game. There just are. Now, it's different than the other sports. There is no physical barrier. There's no wall that keeps, or barrier, period, that keeps the crowd away from the what's going on in the field of play. There's a line. But as these things get more, look, would you agree we've seen more pushing and shoving and hold me back, bro moments and scrums in the first round of the playoffs this year than we've been seeing?
It's pretty elevated.
This is the first round. So now as it gets more intense and more is on the line as we go forward, you don't think we're going to see more? And
not to where there's going to be a fight with fans.
I just want to keep people out of it. I want to keep fans out of it. And I don't, how do you do it? I mean, is the day coming we're putting up a wall around the court? I don't know. It's a super intimate experience. But yeah, I think it's a fair analogy. I think it's a fair to equate the two of those. Yeah, I do. All right, we'll wrap you up when we get back. Everything that you need to know as you go through your Wednesday. Big games tonight in the National Basketball Association. What people are going to be talking about as you head through your day. We'll do that when we get back. Hey, are you ready to upgrade your lunch experience? Twin Peaks is serving up light yet hearty lunch combos. Starts at just $7.99. Soup, salads, sandwiches, all of it hits the spot, and you compare it with a 29-degree draft, and you've got the perfect midday escape. And if you're a night owl, do not miss the late-night flatbreads at Twin Peaks. Just $8 from 10 o'clock to close. That's Sunday through Thursday. So whether it's lunch with coworkers or a solo bite with the game on, Twin Peaks will make every meal memorable. And think about them when you've got the NBA Finals going on. The finals tip off May 20th. That seems like a long time from now, but it's not. You can go watch all the playoffs over at Twin Peaks on wall-to-wall TVs and those 29-degree drafts, the atmosphere that's made for the serious fans. And coming up later this month, May 25th, is National Wine Day. Ask a Twin Peaks girl for a pour of your favorite red or white and celebrate Vino Lodge style. It's all at Twin Peaks. They've got you covered all through the month of May for lunch, for late night, for National Wine Day, and for all your sports. See you at Twin Peaks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as Red and Green.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Got shots?
Day baseball tomorrow out at the ballpark. Isotopes all-time home run leader Sam Hilliard will be with us at 9:45 tomorrow for the day game. Working on trying to get you something with Dayton Albury as well. I don't know that we're going to be able to do that tomorrow, but working on it as well. 505-246-0610. What you got to know as you go through your day to day. Dayton Albury signed as hasn't signed yet. He committed verbally on his socials to be a Lobo next year. So the former Utah State guard who played also at Queens and was the Atlantic Sun Newcomer of the Year, played junior college in Florida, will be a Lobo next year. That's a big get for New Mexico. He played at Utah State last year, and you got a really good, solid point guard. So that's people will be talking about that. NFL this morning fined the Atlanta Falcons $250,000. They also fined Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich $100,000. All of this is in response to the prank phone call made to Shedeur Sanders by the 21-year-old son of Jeff Ulbrich. So that came down this morning, and good conversation on that. Last night, NBA, Nuggets beat the Clippers 131-115. Jamal Murray went for 43, his highest playoff total outside of the bubble. Nuggets take a 3-2 series lead back to California for Game 6. Pacers beat the Bucks 119-118. Bucks melted in the final 39 seconds of overtime, blew a 7-point lead. They are eliminated for the third straight time in the first round. The Pacers advance. Celtics beat the Magic 120-89. Magic were leading in the third quarter. Paulo Banchero got his fifth foul, went to the bench, and then 31 of the next 40 points were Boston's, and it was a blowout. And the Pistons win in Madison Square Garden, 106-103. They stay alive. It's 3-2 New York as that series heads back to Michigan for Game 6. Tonight, Warriors and Rockets are the first game. Warriors looking to close out Houston. The game is in Texas, and the Rockets are 4.5-point favorites. Game 5, Timberwolves and Lakers. Minnesota leads 3-1. The game is in Los Angeles. Lakers 5.5-point favorites tonight. That's what everybody's going to be talking about as you go through your day. Oh, and Lobo football got a couple of transfers, including a safety from Auburn, C.J. Johnson, committed to New Mexico. You still have time to get in if you want. 505-246-0610. JJ, do you like the home teams tonight? Lakers and Rockets both trying to stay alive at home and not get closed out, or do you think one of these series ends tonight?
Lakers, Warriors.
So Warriors finish it in, and that would be a 7-2, and then the Lakers. I think that might be right. I think both home teams win tonight. I do. I think they both extend. Text line talking about Jax Ulbrich, the son of the defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich of Atlanta. It says the kid needs to be Will Smithed by Shedeur Sanders. It's from Dan. Means he wants Shedeur to be able to slap him. All right. Terry says, added to the story, should Indiana be fined for dad coming on the court? Any security on the floor didn't see any. So he's saying, should the Pacers be fined for allowing all these people on the court? I mean, I don't even know what protocol is anymore. So you're allowed to let your family come on, or if you're a famous rapper or actor or homie of one of the players, you're allowed on the court after the. I don't even know what protocol is anymore. If you're sitting in the front row, are you allowed on the floor? Like, I don't know what they would find the Pacers for.
When you look at it, he wasn't at center court. Like, it's what you've addressed. It can get very crazy at the end. And by the way, this happened on the baseline, so he wasn't really on the court.
Okay.
Like, he was yelling at Giannis, not excusing it, but he wasn't like he was at center court. Like, it was pretty much at very close to where the seats were.
Yeah, I guess.
But that's the question. People are, the way it's kind of coming across is like he ran out there at center court and confronted Giannis. And he confronted him, but it was
still
amid where there's cameras and all those people on the baseline.
Yeah. All right. So you got the Lakers tonight, and you got Why do you think the Warriors win there tonight?
I make the plays down the stretch.
Okay. So you think it's tight? I could see this as being one of those games where Houston controls it. When they go back to San Francisco and close it out there. This has been the weirdest 7-2 matchup ever, isn't it?
Well, I don't think a 7's ever been favored over a team.
That's what I'm saying. So you got a 7 where the majority of people were picking the 7. The 7 was favored. The 7 has championship pedigree, and people couldn't name you 3 guys on the 2. It's been one of the weirdest series ever. And look, it's been competitive. Like, the last game was super competitive. Houston had their chances. This will be the early game, by the way. You get I think it's a 5:30 start, if I'm not mistaken, tonight. 5:30 on TNT. And then you get the Lakers in Minnesota. Spreads tonight. Lakers.
Sorry, just before you get that. So the 1987 Supersonics were the NBA's first number 7 seed to win a first-round series. The Warriors did it in 89 and 91.
That's 7.
You had the 98 Knicks, 2010 Spurs, and 2023 Lakers.
Was that like 6 times? Something like that?
7-2 in the first round. That's happened.
And 8-1's happened twice, correct? First one was the Nuggets beating the Sonics, and then I know it's happened another time. I just don't know when.
The Warriors, they win that series over the Mavericks?
Maybe. Yeah, I
Baron Davis, we believe Warriors.
Oh, wow. We're going back a minute now. Yeah. Baron Davis is a Warrior. You know what else? Such a stupid observation. When teams like change from their classic looks and go completely different and then kind of go back, they start winning again. So the Pistons, I haven't watched, I'm not going to lie. Like if I pretended I told you I watched 4 Pistons games over the last decade, I'd be lying to you. Okay. But you see highlights and
those Grant Hill jerseys go hard.
You
though,
like
man.
those?
Yes, they
see,
do.
now that they've gone back to the classic jerseys when they won championships, it feels like all of a sudden they're good again.
They've been. Well, they won championships in these jerseys in the early 2000s.
In these ones that they're wearing now.
You're right. So you're right. But this is one where the change didn't look bad. They just didn't.
They didn't win it. Right.
So that's such a classic logo from the 90s. The Pistons one with the horse and the exhaust pipes. That one's great.
But they didn't win anything.
True. But it wasn't a change that goes down as awful in my opinion. I think the 90s NBA logos are some of the best out there.
So I didn't realize it until you look at people wearing jerseys in the home crowd. You realize all the different jerseys, the iterations. The fact that they morphed back to, let's go back to our championship look.
Warriors? No, they weren't.
No,
they didn't win a championship, but again, we just talking about them winning playoff series.
But they're back to they got 8 different ones, the city ones and the
color scheme.
The color scheme with the ball and the bridge, right? That's their look, man. Now they've got the city jerseys. They've got some sort of flowery something on there. I mean, everybody's got 5 looks, right? Like I watch a Jazz game. I don't even know who I'm watching sometimes. The amount of colors that they've got in their different logos, I have no idea. All right, we're gonna Sam Hilliard tomorrow. Day baseball for the Topes. We'll do that. Good stuff today. Really good. Appreciate the input. The Herd with Colin Cowherd is next. Jim Rome Show's after that. 2 Men On is in at 4, and then we get Ice Baseball. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Adrian, great work on the visuals. JJ, he is JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it, please. Be good to each other. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
Got shots?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off.